Good day, this is Sean Carson with eXp Realty. I'm here today to give you April 2020 real estate review. Today we're going to look at real estate activity for March of 2020 throughout Greater Vancouver. And sales were on fire. Once again, we saw a very hot month in regards to sales volume. In Greater Vancouver, we saw a 46% increase in sales over the same period last year, March 2019. Now, we saw a lot of that sales volume come in the first 10 days, in which we had 138 sales per day. Then COVID hit, and the government instituted a state of emergency, which really changed the tale as far as sales volumes, that we saw 97 sales per day, a 30% decrease. Now, we've had continued a run of very strong sales activity for approximately the last 8 months, and with lower inventory, which was low enough to put all property types into a seller's market from a sales to active listing ratio perspective. Now, going back to sales, where we saw a lot of the sales were in the detached homes, we saw a 53% increase from the same period last year. Townhouses saw a 52% increase of sales from March 2019, and condos saw a 35% increase comparative to just a year ago. Now, even though these sales do sound high, we're still 20% below the 10-year March sales average. Now, what goes along with sales is our inventory, and once again, we had a low month in regards to inventory, is that we were 17% below the 10-year average in regards to inventory, and more importantly, we were 25% below the same inventory levels of 2019. Now, with these two dynamics working against each other, we finally saw an increase in price, substantial in the last couple of months, that have shown in the last 6 months we've had a 4% increase of price in Greater Vancouver. So we've really seen that recovery from our approximately 18-month market correction. Now, moving a little further east in the Fraser Valley, the big story coming out of March was the condo market, sales basically collapsing in the Fraser Valley. Outside of condos, we saw detached homes saw a 25% increase in sales volume to the same period last year. Townhouses saw a 28% increase in sales volume, and now coming back to condos, a decrease of nearly 4.5% comparative to the same period last year. Inventory levels paralleled somewhat with Greater Vancouver, that we saw a decrease of 10% comparative to the same period last year. Price points, we saw an increase of nearly 2% from the month previous in February, and a 7.5% increase in prices comparative to March of 2019. Now, in regards to COVID-19, what does this mean for real estate? Well, for sellers, really it ultimately comes down to, are you comfortable having people come into your home? Now, the time that we've had so far, we've been able to determine how this virus is transmitted and how we can prevent it. So as far as working with buyers, as long as we're willing and ready to have a mask and gloves on, we can feel safe and strong that in keeping social distance, that we're able to go into properties again. As long as sellers feel safe and buyers feel safe, we're ready to go. Now, in regards to realtors being ready to go, we have been classified as an essential service right across Canada. So realtors are ready to serve the needs of our buyers and our sellers. I've got a blog here, a link on the review here, which I recommend to take a look. I go into a little bit more detail as far as solutions that we have, especially with sellers when it comes to virtual tours. Here we've got some links to your city. And if you'd like more information for your neighborhood, feel free to reach out to me direct. And finally, we'll get some focus on the hot versus not in March 2020. And what we really saw that really came through was how strong Burnaby and Richmond were in regards to sales in all property types. And for honorable mention, Vancouver West detached home sales, which were arguably the hardest hit in our correction, saw an increase of 71% to 106 sales from 62 from February, just 1 month ago. I hope this gives you a little bit of insight. I hope you've enjoyed. If you have any questions at all, feel free to call, email anytime. Stay safe, stay healthy out there, guys.